to Kim's One Pod. Here we are. I'm one of your hosts, Peter Kim.
And I am your other host, Unji Kim.
And we are not married. Mostly because we've been in long-term relationships with two different white men. Are we such cliches, Unji?
Yes.
As like Asian Americans.
Yes.
Of a certain age, like, I don't know, borderline Gen Xers we are.
We really are.
We really are.
So
and
sad.
that's so, and us dating white men, cis white men, is the most Gen X-y thing about us. Mm-hmm. It's so,
truly.
I'm so ashamed of myself. Not because I'm dating a white man, it's because I like fell into that thing that like other Asians make fun of us about, you know, like, oh, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, I know you've been married for like 10 years. You have two kids. Like, it doesn't matter what you feel about it.
I'm trapped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to bring it up again. Sorry to bring it up again.
Get out.
Your eyes are bulging.
I mean, I say it on stage about how it's like the only mistake I've ever made, which is categorically a lie. I've made so many bad mistakes. I made so many mistakes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at this outfit right now. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. You look cute.
No, I've decided like the hierarchy of like beanies, you know what I mean? Like the longer your beanie is, like the farther away from like hipsterdom you are. Like the closer you get to like a hipster bean yarmulke, like the level of hipster you are goes up. So it
has to be lower. The beanie has to be lower on your head.
Right. So when it's big, right, when you're like it's only folded over once, that is like you're a workman. You are a blue collar worker. You're wearing Carhartt and Dickies unironically.
You're on the docks.
And then you're on a docks. Yeah. You're a longshoreman. Mm-hmm. And with every single fold, you becomes more and more of a pose. Like I'm at barista. This is barista.
Oh, wow. Yeah. A couple of more folds and you'll start brewing your own beer. You'll have sleeve tattoos and a beard.
But yeah, I mean, like, I do feel like there was this comment on one of my videos, and it is.
We got to talk about video comments. I'm like, I'm getting upset, but please.
It's truly unhinged. But one of them was, it's of course an account with no picture. And his comment was just like, so is this one married to a white? And like,
yes, absolutely. 100 times yes.
And it's like so deeply dismissive and like it's racist in a way that's like, mwah, you know what I mean? Like
I don't even know if it's, wait, all white, meaning that this person who commented is probably not white.
Who knows?
I don't know if I would call, I don't know, all white?
Like no, I think it was like
that seems like an angry Asian.
Or is this
you know what I mean?
Married to a white? Yeah. It could be. It really. That's the beauty of it. It's open to interpretation. It's art, right? Like it's
anonymity is art.
Like the fact that like it's so bizarre and like dismissive and like It's like he's being cruel by like. In such like an ambiguous way, like it's open to interpretation. It's so there's nuance there. This is like a high level burn. This is like a high level sort of dismissive, abusive remark. You know, it's like the kind of thing where as an abused woman in a situation, like it'd be one of those like little slings and arrows where you're like. It's just one of the many it's 1,000 cuts. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those little paper cuts that just cuts deeply.
Oh,
ouch!
Cut to the core. They saw you. Oh my God! Imagine that was your husband leaving that. This one married to a white. I'm not married to a white, but I mean, pretty much. We've been together for almost 8 years now. We're domestically partnered. Mm-hmm. I think I'm afraid we are common lawed. And
you are a common law.
Are we?
I don't know in California.
It's like 7 years of living together or something like that.
In California. In Illinois, it's 7. I don't know in
I think
California.
It's the same too. And I think there's a no contest marriage in California where like, whatever, it's 50-50.
Sorry, bitch.
So I know. I'm like, Eric, you're going to have to move out for like 3 months. How do we reset this?
Like if you like if you are celibate for a year, you like re-virginate yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like kind of the same thing.
I know. Okay, so I've been now that we were talking about these YouTube comments and online comments. Let's really get into it because this week I've been getting a lot of. So I don't know. Maybe it's the way I set this up, but on my YouTube, I don't get notifications when I get comments. So like I went back after a week and there were all these comments that I didn't see on my like shorts videos and stuff like that. Ooh. And I will say 60% of them are nice.
Yes.
They're like, haha, stupid, LOL, like kimchi power, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And then a good 40% of them are like anonymous whack ass, like no picture having whack ass comments.
Yes.
And one of them, I love / hate seeing this comment because it's so brutally dumb, but it's still like it's that paper cut you're talking about.
Yes.
So the comment was, ugh, another copy of Bobby Lee.
Another copy.
That's what I said. I was like, how many copies have you seen? Is there a lot out there? And first of all, if I was not this shape and this color, would you have ever said that? Because Bobby Lee and I do not have a similar POV, a comedic stance. We're very different. We sound different. I think we look different too, but you know, to an average bigot, yeah, we're both we have the same shapes.
Yes,
you know, we're like roundy, you know, small eyes.
Yes.
Maybe we're screaming, you know, whatever. So like,
maybe
you know what? I do copy Bobby Lee. He is right. No, but like, I don't know how many like facsimiles of the great Bobby Lee from Mad TV is walking around right now. Like, I don't get it. Who else is out there that's like that?
I mean, I am very plugged in to the comedy.
Plugged in. I wish you would back off of some of your comedy podcast viewing, because sometimes you view like the strangest comedy podcasts and it's concerning to me.
It's almost like I'm addicted to white men talking.
You are. And you're married to one. I don't get it. Does he not talk? Of course he doesn't. He lives with you. He's browbeaten and he listens.
Not enough.
No, but you are plugged in. There's not one other like round Asian guy.
No, there aren't. And
what the fuck?
I mean, but the thing is, like, this comes down to, like, it's just the way of the internet, because I get the same things about Ali Wong. Like one of the comments on one of my clips where I'm pregnant, it's like multiple times people commenting, "What's up with Asian women being pregnant all the time?"
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that is a true statement, and we need to curb that, because there's 4 billion Asian women.
Too many.
Yeah, there's way too many, just ostensibly for the sustainability of the planet. There's just too many of y'all getting pregnant.
People are like legit like, ugh, another Asian comic pregnant. I'm like,
what? How many of them have been around?
It's just
you've seen one
and one lady.
That's too much.
People are like, over it. I'm like, you can't do anything. And the thing is, like,
you really can. People will just be like upset about whatever it is. Like, they won't even have the volume on, and they're like, Asian, small, belly, I've seen it.
Stupid. Like, it's truly like, I mean, it's upsetting insofar as like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's, you're pushing against the tide, right? Like, it doesn't matter. The overwhelming, like, the internet itself is such a horrible hellscape.
Here's what, though. I think it depends on what corner of the internet, because I believe that different platforms react differently, right? So there are certain platforms that are like absolute cesspools for hate.
Yes.
Twitter being the place for it.
Twitter is where they go. That's
where they breed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like the salmon going upstream.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
To get to
really.
Yeah, that's where Twitter is. That's upstream for them. That's where they have more of them, and they have more fake accounts coming out.
I mean, it truly is also where so many of our culture's greatest haters live. I mean, and I truly, I follow a few of them. I live for the hate, but it is also where it is originated. You know, that's the Big Bang.
It's celebrated
of
there.
Hate.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
it's
look at the
celebrated.
CEO. But anyway, so troll king in charge.
Yes.
So Twitter, I never post anything on Twitter unless it's like a snarky comment or whatever, you know, like, but I've realized that like TikTok, the comments and reactions are a lot more positive.
Yes, they are kind. Yeah.
People are more inclined to, I think they're just in a better mood because they're on TikTok.
Right, because they're lulled into this sort of docility.
Yeah, of like a stupid video and like little clips of videos that are making you, I think, happy, not angry. Right? Most of TikTok is not angry
for that.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the algorithm is geared to like give you what you want.
Yeah. So TikTok, I've been getting some really nice comments. Thank you, China.
Yes.
And one of the worst, I think, is YouTube. And YouTube is there's some like really horrible people on YouTube. That I thought Twitter was bad.
No.
YouTube is like the granddaddy of them all. That's like where it started.
That's why I like it so much. It's like it's Reddit. It's Reddit.
It's visual Reddit. And
Yeah.
that's the video. Okay, this is another comment that I got that's really made me laugh. There was a clip that you and I put out, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about my friend, the straight girl who came out late, and she was messing up my life because she was now queer. So there was a clip of us talking about that and us saying like, straight woman, it's okay to be yourself. Stay straight. We love you. Whatever. We're just
stay
like,
straight, stay strong. Yeah.
And we're just having fun with it. And there's these comments on YouTube. They're going, what the fuck? Now it's not even okay to be a straight woman? That you have to hear like it's okay to be straight? That's fucked. What has this world come to? Fuck. You know, and I'm like, oh, you've completely missed the tongue in cheek. Obviously the context, you know, like, I don't know what people are thinking, but the absolute like ignorance of the tongue in cheek, like, you know, we're being sarcastic. Obviously, they're straight women rule the world. What are you talking about? Okay, have some context clues before like writing a comment on someone's like video. You fucking idiot. But
I mean,
anyway.
The fact that we're both smiling and laughing and giggling, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about context and if there wasn't enough provided, but you'd think that if you walk in on two people, again, laughing and giggling and saying something kind of outrageous, you'd kind of, your first impulse would be like, they must be joking, as opposed to psychos who are having a serious conversation and laughing.
Who actually are laughing about the fact that straight women can be straight. What? As if they need permission from us? What are you fucking talking about? Like, this is how deranged the internet is, that they've all become victims. And it's so strange. You know what? That's what the internet's for. And I used to like report people and like delete comments and stuff like that because I didn't want that negativity around. But like now I just don't care. I'm like, whatever. Like, it looks like I have more comments if it's bad. And I started responding to comments. Like there was this one comment that was like, I forgot what I posted, but it was like not front to video. What is it called? Face fronting video?
Front to video? Is that a picture of your dick?
Just my big, vapid belly button. I posted something like a front facing video thing, and they were like, ugh, not funny at all. To which, like, I used to get like offended by it, but like clearly I'm like, I guess I'm just too old to be offended by comments. So now I'm just like, oh yeah, I was actually going for pathetic.
I mean, yes. I also leave all those comments up. I engage, you know, whatever. I like them. Yeah. But I did, for the first time, have to delete a bunch of, like, an entire comment thread. And it was because she was this woman was being racist to like about Chicago and like talking about the South Side and West Side in ways that were like really heinous. And she was like, because the comment thread was popping off, there were like 40 or 50 comments, and it was just like she was responding to every single thing.
Oh God.
And starting to get irate and
God.
doing the thing,
Oh, God.
where like people that are online like are defending, and she's going for them. She's saying increasingly unhinged things. So at a certain point, she says something that's just like outright really racist. And
Can you tell us?
It was basically like, look at these people, like calling. Yeah, look at these people, look at where they live, like, etc. Just like horrible, heinous things, right? And it's just like it's on a comedy video about like my son saying that he thinks he looks Jewish, and like this bitch is talking about intercity politics and the racial divide of like a deeply segregated city, and like I just didn't fucking want this.
All right, Lori
So-
Lightfoot, get off the comments, bitch.
Exactly.
Like the fuck?
Like, what are you doing, honey? Take it down a notch. Like it's not that serious.
Oh my
so
God.
I, for the first time, just deleted an entire
The whole
comment
thing,
thread.
yeah.
Because I just didn't want it.
Yeah.
And I have never done that before. Like truly, like commenters, be racist. Be racist to me.
Yeah.
Like be racist to us.
Yeah.
But don't be racist about other shit. Like
Yeah. We can
like,
handle
this
it.
is- Exactly. Know the assignment.
Yeah.
This is what you're supposed to be.
We
racist
want the
about.
engagement. We want the
Yes.
For You page to pop off.
Like, go for it. Like, I can
Yeah.
handle this, and I also won't take it that seriously. But don't talk about my city. Don't talk about
That's
the
where you
people
draw the
inside
line.
Of it. That's where
Yeah.
I draw the line, and also that kind of racism that is so insidious and like
Yes.
blatant, and it's just so mean
Mm-hmm.
to do on a comment thread that's like not about this. It's not about you. Honey, stay in your lane. Like all of it is so applicable, like in this specific scenario, and I just got rid of it. I really had never done it
Good for
before.
you.
I didn't even know how to do it. Like I had like Gen Z people walk me through the process, and it was so funny because I was so nervous about doing it because I think Peter, you and I also there's fundamentally like a part of it that's like, well, let the people. If they don't like it, then they can just say that. I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not going to do comedy anymore. Like I'm going to, like go for it, honey. And so like the idea of like free speech and these things are really fundamental. So I didn't want to censor it. And I was really like kind of distraught, but all of these Gen Zs were like, fucking
Get rid of her.
Like,
yeah.
get rid of it. Like
Also,
has
it's
nothing to
kind of
do
a
with
badge
you.
of honor to have someone troll on your comments like that because, honey, if you had like not at least 5-figure numbers, 6-figure numbers on your video, the bitch
Right.
would not even come
seen
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or bother. It's the fact that you have so many views on your video and so many comments that if
Yeah.
this bitch comments, it's more likely to be seen. So she's
Right.
using your like video's platform to spew her hate. So in a way, like you've made it, hon.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've become the organization. You are the man now.
I mean, there's like so many moments where like in the comments, people are like chastising me for various things about using my platform for spewing like racist stuff.
What?
And I'm just like, yes, this is other comments.
This is are they talking about your reply to the comments or are they talking about your video content in itself?
like they're talking about my bit. So,
Yeah,
like,
your
people will go
stand-up
off
bit.
on- Yeah, so they're talking specifically about. I mean, but
What?
all of it is fine. But the way that they describe my quote unquote platform, I'm like, I made $0 off of this. Like I am currently you know what I mean? Like there's no platform. I'm in the ground. There's a hole. Like there's no platform. I'm not above. I'm actually digging deeper into the ground. Like it's actually, hopefully I'm looking for a way out.
Yeah,
But,
you're sinking deeper.
It's really, and it's so funny that like, it seems to me a very juvenile understanding
Yes.
of the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same way that my son is like, I want to be famous. I want to do something on YouTube. And I'm like, why? And he's, why? I mean, truly, like, why do you want to do this? And whenever I ask him, he's like, well, if I'm famous, that means I will be rich. And I was like,
Oh my God,
absolutely not.
he's gone.
He's gone. I was like, absolutely not, because he's addicted to these like fucking Twitch things where like. By the way, he's not allowed to watch any of it. It's only from discussion with other kids that he knows about.
Of course, that's how you get all the dirt. That's how you find out about porn. That's how you find out about your. Yeah.
That's why he knows about it, and I'm just like, there is no money in that. You can be very famous for very bad things and also make no money. Like fame is not the goal.
Yeah.
It's and it's
money's
like
the goal.
Money is the goal, and so that's what I was telling him. I was just like, that's not the goal. Like you want to be able to make money, and you have to not.
Actually, fame is probably the worst way.
Yes.
To become rich, because it's contingent upon the public's like grace upon you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If I had a kid, which these days I'm really not thinking about, but if I did have a kid, I think I would really try to persuade them into becoming an anonymous billionaire.
Yes.
Because that's real power. If people can't even pick you out of a lineup, but you have the invisible hand that's pushing the economy, that's what my kid's going to be. Because
that's Kaiser Soze. That the greatest
exactly.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people he didn't exist. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the trick. And I'm really impressing it upon him, but he's still so obsessed with like being on YouTube because it's what he
oh my
watches.
God, that's so scary. That's so scary.
And this bitch wanted me to put a picture, like a video of him dancing online, and I looked at him.
TikTok?
I looked at him. YouTube, very specifically. He's not familiar with TikTok, so it's YouTube specifically.
Okay.
And I looked at him and I said, "Show me the dance you want to do."
And 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2.
Yes, I know. If it was like that, then maybe I would have put it on.
What was
it?
He
did.
Oh no.
It's horrible.
Oh no.
I said no.
No, that's not great for your brand or his. Like we can't.
And that's literally what I said. And I was like, I refused. And he said, why? And I was like, because in 5 years you're going to be mad at me for putting that on the internet.
Yes.
And he's like, why would I be mad at you? I was like, because that's bad. And
it does not look good. Go away, try it again, and come back when it looks good.
When it looks good, I was just like, show me something.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be like, especially if you're going to put it on the internet. Like there's like levels to this.
Don't enable fucking mediocre dancing. Not on the internet, bitch. That's forever.
Not on the internet.
That's forever.
And I showed him other videos of like people actually dancing, and this bitch. This is why, like, this inherent white male pride.
Here we go.
I showed him pictures and videos of other people really fucking dancing. Like,
you talking Beyonce?
I'm talking popping.
Yeah.
I'm talking
locking.
I'm talking the combination of pop and lock.
Bitch, windmills. Yes.
They're gyrating in unison, looking perfect.
But so you think you can dance?
Me?
No. Your son. Your son.
Me?
No, I know you can't dance. I've seen you at weddings.
I'm a very confident dancer who is so bad at dancing.
Me too.
That's where he gets it. Maybe that's where he gets it. I mean, I'm like talking about it. But truly,
delusion and bad rhythm, that comes from one side of the family.
I truly was like, showed him these other videos and like expected him to be like, oh, I got to step up my game.
No.
He looked at these videos and looked at me and was like, and
I'm doing that.
I'm doing this.
That's what I'm doing. Put it up. That's crazy.
Like,
I'm glad you're stopping him. I'm glad you're stopping him right now, because you could have enabled this behavior, and that's how you turn into a killer. When you think you're good at things.
But it's like, it's truly like, there are parts of me where I'm like, this is, when he grows up, he's going to be like, and immigrant moms, don't support your dance dreams.
He's right. He is absolutely right. Yeah.
It's just like fucking brutal. But like, I mean, the internet is such an unkind place. Like, and unsafe.
And you don't want people commenting on his video? Ugh. Imagine.
Until he is... I always looked at him. I was like, "You need to go through puberty. Like, you have to be fully out of puberty.
Your balls need to drop, and your voice needs to start cracking. When his voice starts cracking, you're gonna start. Do you think you'll get scared when his voice? Not of him, but what he's becoming.
A man.
A man. You know what I mean? Because that's when your child is disappearing. And this motherfucker is starting to get hormones and start thinking about humping and excreting. That's puberty, baby, that you can't think about anything else.
I will say that, like, as someone who has historically been very afraid of men,
yes,
I just can't imagine myself being afraid of him. Just given, like, I've wiped his ass so much.
I know.
I have, you know what I mean? Like, I know
but his
so
ass
much about
is
him.
going to start having like hair now.
Even then, I don't know if I will ever be afraid of him.
Okay.
I'll be afraid of what he becomes. I think it's more like I would not be afraid of what he's become. I would be very angry.
Angry that he's no longer a child? I mean,
Like,
ostensibly
I
you're
would be
losing a
disappointed.
child is what I'm saying. Because
And
like
gaining a man.
Gaining a
Yes,
man.
yes.
It's like, who needs a man?
You
already have
I wouldn't
one.
be afraid. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
afraid.
you'd be
I think
upset.
I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
I'd be upset. I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I thought I had a boy and now I have to feed this man in the house. Ill.
I'd be like, ugh.
Yuck.
I think that's really more it. Like,
Yeah.
That is his burden to overcome. That is his
Trauma
immigrant story.
Yeah,
it's his
to
trauma.
work out.
To
I remember
work
when
out.
I was going through puberty and my voice was dropping, and my we would go to church, or like my mom would take me out around to like hang out with her friends or something, and I'd be like, whatever, and then her and her friends will all be like, oh 징그러워, oh 징그러워, oh 왜 이래, oh 징그러워, because like I remember them thinking that like I'm becoming an adult man, therefore now like the dynamics are changing. And 징그러워 means like disgusting or gross. Or like I'm grossed out by this.
Yes.
And I remember thinking exactly when I was like 12, 13 that they're being grossed out by my puberty, and meaning that like my voice changing, my pits, my pubic hair, the fact that like when I run the faucet on my little dingling, it gets bigger. You know what I mean? Like all of that, and I'm going, my mom and her friends know what's happening, and I guess like they started like they stopped hugging me.
Yeah, because of the yes.
And I think that's like a thing where it's like, oh, I can't hug you anymore because now you are no longer child. You are man, I am woman. So this is no longer like safe or like chill or cool to do. You know? 아이고 우리 애기 아가, like you can't do that anymore. And it becomes like, oh, I have to respect you as a man that could kill. Because men do be killing. Men be killing. So that's why I think my mom and her friends got like upset. They were like, oh God, his voice is changing and he's getting erratic. Like
women do be shopping and men do be killing.
That's two things I know from living my 40 years of life. Is women be shopping and men be killing.
If there's anything that you take away from this podcast,
I've never seen a man shop or a woman kill. Not once. Out my teeth. Okay. Here's another thing. Talking about trans rights being trampled all over the country. How fucking disgusting. The GOP will just, or conservative people will just attack anything. They just they have nothing else but attacking something else. They really have nothing.
The cultural war is where like they're waging a cultural war and we're living in an actual war. Like it's like what? Who fucking cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? Why can nobody afford Thai food anymore? Like all
God.
food is so fucking expensive right now. Can we talk about why can my mom get a whole bunch of green onions for $1 anymore?
No way.
Why is it one bunch? Like, that's crazy. Like just talking about the green onions alone, the price of green onions and what it's doing to the Asian community. Like, bitch, that needs to be in the news. Like it's like disrupting the way that we eat, digest, and are healthy. Right? You don't. Anytime you've ever asked an Asian woman like or Asian mom like why something tastes so good, it's always green onions. You just need it.
I thought you were going to say love. Oops. No, not an Asian mother. She would never say that. She would say green onions. Scallions if she's cool.
Like Chung, of course Chung is in there, but like it's mostly green onions. The love is sprinkled sparingly. But like, I mean, it's like
expensive. Eggs, green onions. There's a lot of shit that's just like too expensive to eat
but
now.
But you know that like when you go like to the mart with your Asian mom, like it's not just one bunch of green onions. It's like you get the 3 or 4 or 5. Like that's how they used to sell it at the H Mart. It's like 5 for $1, 5 for $1. Then it was 3 for $1, and there was already the grumbling was beginning, and now it's 1 for $1.19.
No way.
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's oppressive.
This is the type of shit we're dealing with. Y'all motherfuckers are worried about who's reading story hours, dressed in what. Get the fuck out of here.
You're worried about beautiful women reading lively.
Hello?
These fun drag queens having a good time telling kids about like
you can be yourself? Like what the fuck is wrong with you? Go plant some green onion bulbs and get the fuck out of here.
Thank you.
Anyway, so going back to these trans things. Oh God, I forgot what I was talking about. I was going to say something. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
No, you were talking about the GOP, how they're coming for anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're living in two different fucking worlds, obviously. It
is really wild.
Speaking of living in two different worlds, my younger brother, he lives in Koreatown. He's going to be 34. Okay, in May.
Okay.
And I'm having a little bit of an issue. I'm trying to be a supportive brother, a good hyung, a family member that does not judge. Now, I don't know how to do that. I've never experienced this before. I've never not judged anyone.
You must judge.
How else do I give my opinion?
How else do you know that what you're doing is good or bad?
Exactly. How else do I know that I'm better than you? But but my brother comes. He's like, Hung, like, oh, can we have dinner? I've been having a bad week. I'm like, okay, of course. You know, like we go to dinner, blah blah. And he tells me that the other night he was at a company party and he got blackout drunk and he shoved a guy's face. And got kicked out of the company party.
Of his company's
party.
Happy hour?
Not even happy hour, like an annual party, like a big thing. Everyone's there. And he got kicked out by his CEO.
Yeah.
And I know. And I'm just sitting there going.
This is a kunid.
Yeah. And then, my face, I'm just like, and he's like, yeah, what the fuck? This guy was starting with me, blah, blah, blah. Like he's like making excuses for what happened. And I'm just like, I can't support this. Yeah. And I go, what the fuck are you doing being blackout drunk at a company party? What the fuck are you doing? Like, don't you want to be the most professional at the company party? What, you don't want to work here anymore? Why are you acting like this? And he's like going like, yo, why aren't you supporting me? I'm telling you that this guy fucked with me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't care if some guy's fucking with you. You're the one. First of all, you have no wherewithal to not get physical with someone because guess what? You ain't even in the right mind. You're blackout drunk. Folks, we have to cut out the blackout drunk. Once you're out of your 20s, you can't be blackout drunk. I'm sorry. That's a new rule. You cannot. Even if you're 29, fine. Have your blackout moment. But after that, it's so embarrassing to be blackout drunk in your 30s. It's at a company thing. At a company thing. So I felt so.
We cannot support.
I cannot support it. So we're like sitting there like eating tteokguk, and I'm like trying to be better at not judging people and being like, okay, tell me about what's going on. Why do you feel this way? Blah blah. I'm just trying to be a better fucking friend. Family member, whatever.
This is true.
I'm trying.
This is good. I mean, yes, yeah. Being able to demonstrate empathy and not only judge. Like these are all very. Because the thing is that like
we were never taught that. Our parents never told us not to do that or like
I'm
to
parenting
listen to
myself out
people.
here.
Exactly.
I'm parenting myself out here with like the shit I'm learning from like mental health TikTok. Like that's all I'm fucking. That's it. I'm learning everything by one TikTok at a fucking time. You know what I mean? 2 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
So don't. I mean, like, but yes, having empathy. Learning
But you gotta
to
come
not
here.
judge.
I'm working on empathy. You're gonna come here with this fucking backwards ass story, trying to
You
tell
gotta
me.
work. You got to do some work on yourself
Yes.
before you come to me, Peter. I mean, I will say this. There's a line here. Like, as a friend, I think you can be, or even as a family member, you can be helpful and supportive.
Yeah.
Right? You can pick one. There are some things that you cannot be supportive of, but you can be helpful. Or you can be unhelpful, but just supportive. Right? Like,
Okay.
you have to pick one. It's great if you can do both. You hope that people in your life can allow you to do both. But sometimes you can't do that. So you have to pick one or the other. You can't support this. This is fucking crazy.
I know.
And it's crazy for him to think that it's okay enough for you to expect yours unbridled support.
Right. Like, I thought you were telling me this story so that you could be like, aren't I a fucking idiot? You know what I mean? Like, I thought that's where this was going. But
You should know better.
Yeah, and listen, I don't want to be that family member or friend that no one ends up coming to because
Yes.
I just sit
don't
here
feel
and
safe.
judge. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm just sitting here going like, well, what did you do? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be that guy because, who likes that guy? But damn, like this is too much. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. And if I was in my 30s, I'd be like, whatever, bro, like shake it off or whatever. But like, I'm just too old to like accept this kind of like juvenile behavior. It's
At a company event?
At a company.
Is he ready to be out on the finding a job right now?
Hello,
Is he
you
ready?
better be talking to a headhunter.
Thank you.
Okay, at the unemployment office because bitch, if I was a CEO, there's no way I'm fucking. Anyway, I'm getting mad. I'm getting upset. I'm just getting really upset and like, I don't know, folks. If you're out there and you're dealing with family members or friends who you just cannot give grace to, please write to us and let us know. How do you deal with this? Because I don't want to estrange my brother.
Yeah.
You're so lucky.
He was that pissed that you didn't support this decision.
No.
For
He
him to
wasn't
get-
pissed, but he was like upset, right? Like, oh, okay, now you're just throwing it back in my face. And I'm like, I don't know what else to do.
Are you not doing the same examination on your own?
He's not.
Are you not looking at yourself?
No, he's not. I guarantee you he's not. There's no
You gotta hand that bitch
self-examination.
you have to hand that bitch a
Mirror?
A mirror. Yeah.
He'll just
He
put
must
it
need to
on.
look at himself.
He'll just put it on his desk and then cut up some cocaine. That's not. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't do cocaine. I don't know if he does. Fine, but like I don't see it. But my point
At least
is,
it wouldn't be blackout.
yeah. You'll be too awake for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Trust me, I've had a long stretch of cocaine use, and I've never blacked out in my 20s.
Thank you.
You're so lucky you don't have siblings. You really are.
I've never thought that, but okay.
You really are. Because there is this thing, like my youngest brother texts me like, he texts me like always at like the worst times, like right when I'm about to go into a meeting or like right when I'm at the gym or whatever. And he's never texting me. Sam, if you're listening to this, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. He never texts me about like, oh, like I'm having such a great day, or like, oh, how are you doing, or whatever, like miss you, or like, what's up, I saw this thing, or nothing. It's always, hey, you have a second, I need to talk. And it's always something horrific. And they both come to me when they are like at the end of the rope. That's not a great relationship. Like, I need you to check in with me when things are just normal. Okay? It can't be dire all the time. Like, I know I'm your older brother, but I'm not your parent, because they can't talk to our parents like this.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So they feel vulnerable and accepted by me, which is my fault, because I should have never let that happen from the beginning. And now they're taking advantage of me. I should have been like my mom. It's like, 시끄러. 까불지 마, 시끄러.
징그러워.
징그러. 절로 가. You know, like I opened that door, and now they're like, oh, my brother's like emotionally open and not, I don't know about intelligent, but he's with it and
Available. He's available.
Bitch, close for business, hun. Be back in 15 years when you figure it out. So annoying.
I mean, that sort of work is so like, I mean, especially for a sibling. I will say this, like if there are people in your life that you're leaning on and they're the people that you only go to in crises, I think there are people that, you know, cultivate that kind of relationship. I will say, let's leave those text message and frantic phone calls after 5. Like, let's not do it during a work day.
Not during the day.
Let's set up some boundaries here. Like, no one needs to hear this. No one needs it.
Matter of fact, after dinner's great because I don't want you ruining my best meal.
Thank you. No. Thank you. Just something like just leave a little bit. These are for after hours. These are after hours texts. These are after hours calls. You need to give some grace, like, and also let's not do it on the weekends because we all need rest.
Yeah.
And so like it's like, you know, between 8 to 10 on any weekday.
That's great.
Permissible. Okay.
Yeah.
But anything outside of that, no, thank you.
Yeah. You need to figure out a good time to reach out to me because I can't. I think it'd be different if they like came to me with other things or ever asked about my life. They literally never. My other brother, I have to sit there and like we went to dinner when he was telling me about this blackout thing and I'm just sitting there going, and then after a while it's like, well, Eric is taking clown classes and he had his first show on Monday and he's like, oh, word? Cool. And I'm like, yeah, it was cool. And it was, you know, and he was very good. And I think he's going to do more of it. And it's going to be maybe monthly. And, you know, thinking like he's going to be like, oh, I'll come check it out next time. He's like,
or a follow-up question.
Anything.
Or anything.
What is clowning classes like? Did you make any good friends?
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep doing it as a hobby? Mm-hmm. Any sort of interest. My fucking God. Zero interest in anything about our lives, but you're dumping your fucking nonsense on us all the time. We're like emotional dumps for them. You know? And it's because they don't have anyone else in their life.
Yes.
And they're both single.
This is why straight men are
straight
dangerous.
Men, I'm telling you. Once you have pubic hair, be gone. You're gone. Get out of my house. Don't come near me. Fucking chingro.
No, but you also need to figure out other buckets to dump into.
Yes.
Like you can't just have one. And this is like something that straight men have a great deal of difficulty with. I'm just like, can you talk about your feelings not only at me?
Right.
Like, so it's the reason why I'm not friends with any straight men. I'm sorry to you for your situation. But I mean, like,
they're not my friends. They're my family.
Yeah, I know.
My friends, I could leave. Okay? I could ruin a friendship. Trust me. I have. Many. But that blood, that's just thicker than water and it keeps coming back. Yeah. It's tough.
It is rough.
It's rough.
It is. I mean, like, it's that sort of work that is required of people in order to maintain relationships, even whether it's friendship or family. It's hard. And it's like, the thing is, I don't know, and I wonder if they would be receptive to this feedback. Like,
can you ask me about my life?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Not like accusatory, but like just be like, this is.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to, but you know, that's just the default the way it comes out.
Can you ask me about something?
Yeah. God damn it, finally.
Like, there's like, you know, presenting the idea that a relationship should be a two-way street.
Right.
And the way that like it currently goes is that all the traffic is going one way.
Right.
And there's a backup of cars that need to go the other way. And it's just like, it doesn't need to be an equal lane highway. You know what I mean? Like they could give you more. I don't think that you're saying like, I hate all of this. Like, you know the role you play in their lives and they don't have anyone else. Like you're fine. But it's just a little bit.
Exactly.
You just want a little bit.
Just a little. Like
some
I
gratitude.
understand. Some perspective.
Yes.
Just a little bit of interest in my life.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tiny bit.
It's just I'm dealing with like straight male narcissists in my family, and it's just like too many of them. to handle.
Too many of them.
Too many of them to handle.
Yes.
And yeah, it's hard. It's hard having family members that are like close to you, but not in the way you need.
Right. It's not intimate. It's not true intimacy.
It's not intimacy.
Right? No, because a true intimacy and a true kind of like love in that way, it means that there's gratitude and it's fostered both ways.
Yeah.
I will say that like because my TikTok algorithm thinks like I'm an Asian incel, I have a lot of stuff like this about like Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan like talking about like the deficiencies and a lot of straight male emotional language around this stuff. I mean, if I'm being honest, the reason why I like this this incel stuff is because I do love like straight men suffering. Like it's like clear that they're really it's clear that they're really suffering and need some sort of emotional release, and that's
You're
why they
into
can't
like
stop.
straight male emotional BDSM. Take
like
them
looking
slings
at
and
it.
arrows, bitch. See how them feel.
I like truly I like watching it because it's so fascinating to me. They're like talking about their like the abstraction and like what's wrong with the world when it's clearly a lack of emotional
Themselves.
connection. Yes, like it's like this would be like if you just had one friend.
Man,
like so much
fucking
of this
bitches
would
be crazy. You're like,
yeah. And or it's like and men aren't allowed to feel. It's just like no one is saying you're not allowed to feel it. Like you are refusing to engage that.
Right.
And if you did have a conversation with your friends that was beyond sports and I don't know, muscles? I don't know. Like,
if you're lucky.
yeah. Like I'm not really clear. But like it's just I do find it very fascinating that like there's so much of the language around their emotions is so stunted and it's so clearly so. And
You're just watching it on YouTube like,
yeah, like no. Talk more about why you can't like find a girlfriend.
yeah, be more toxic. Yeah, die alone. Fuck.
That's what I mean. The TikTok knows you. The TikTok knows you.
It's inside your head. Oh
And
my
I do
God.
like it. But like it's just there's a part of me that's just like it's such a simple fix. Like if you just were able to
It's
share
so
your
not
emotions
simple though. It's the hardest thing.
for them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like and cross culturally, not just American men, like
Yes. Yeah.
all
yeah,
over
yeah.
the goddamn world. I mean, look at all of Putin
Yeah.
and Xi Jinping can be resolved with just like an open, honest dialogue with a therapist. Like
If they,
all
and literally, if they just had friends, if they had like a group of male friends,
male
that were open
friends
about,
that were
yes.
like open and accepting about who you are and how you feel,
yeah.
you would not have
need-
invaded Ukraine.
These bitches need to go to brunch. They need a brunch. They need. Putin needs a brunch.
Yeah.
And he needs to.
You need an
brunch
adult
with a bunch of-
sleepover, and not where like the boys get together and watch porn and jerk off. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to film that, Putin, I'll watch. But make sure you're on a horse.
That's so gross.
Well, Putin and his all oligarchs all on horses jerking off. That sounds fun as fuck. I mean, I'll order Epics or Skinamax for that. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
straight men. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Just ask me about my day. This is what straight women have been saying for 600 years. Can you just ask me about my day?
Just one
Just
thing.
one thing?
Just one thing.
Can you just
Like-
about me?
Ask me about my day.
Yeah.
And clean up your own dishes. Put away your socks. It's like this is like the eternal struggle, and it feels so trite.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it is trite
Yeah.
both ways.
Both ways. Yeah.
Both ways. Like it's.
You know,
it is
I
really
always
hard to
thought
hear them.
that the most wretched people in the world were gay men. But now I'm realizing that it might actually be straight women. Because gay men are shallow enough not to fuck a loser ass dumpy ugly dude. But
Oh my
straight
God.
women, y'all will fuck anything. You guys are fucking the guys that we won't even fuck. That's how bad you are. That's how much you're upholding the patriarchy, straight woman, is that gay men won't even touch these duds. And you're like, yeah, I'll give it a try.
Peter described them as wretched. Like truly. Like what? Like your empathy is wrapped up in a slap. Like
Just like my mom. All right, folks, that's all for today. Thanks for listening. We'll tune in next week. Check out the Patreon. Leave us a review. Bye.
thank you to our straight allies.
Yes. Keep being straight. You're okay. Bye.